Economic growth comparison. Between Pakistan and Bangladesh, 1971 to 2024. Since the partition of East Pakistan and the subsequent creation of Bangladesh in 1971, both countries have followed distinct economic trajectories. This period has seen significant transformations in their economic landscapes, shaped by political changes, policy decisions, external influences, and internal challenges. This analysis delves into the economic growth of Pakistan and Bangladesh from 1971 to 2024, highlighting key milestones, challenges, and comparative outcomes. 1971 to 1990. Early years of economic transition, Pakistan. After the 1971 war, Pakistan faced a severe economic crisis. The loss of East Pakistan meant a substantial reduction in resources and markets. In the 1970s, Pakistan's economy struggled with slow growth, high inflation, and significant public sector involvement. Nationalization policies under Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto further hampered private sector growth. However, during the 1980s, under General Zia-ul-Haq, Pakistan shifted towards deregulation and privatization, leading to modest economic recovery and growth rates averaging around 5 to 6% annually. Bangladesh, newly independent, faced immense challenges, including widespread poverty, infrastructure damage, and political instability. The initial years were marked by attempts at socialist policies and state control. However, by the late 1970s and 1980s, Bangladesh began implementing market-oriented reforms. Efforts to improve agricultural productivity, particularly in rice, and the growth of the garment industry laid the foundation for future economic growth. Despite these efforts, growth remained modest, with the economy heavily dependent on foreign aid. 1990 to 2010. Economic reforms and growth Pakistan. The 1990s in Pakistan were marked by economic volatility and political instability, which affected growth. Structural adjustment programs by the IMF aimed at economic liberalization, reducing fiscal deficits, and privatizing state-owned enterprises had mixed results. Despite some periods of growth, the overall economic environment remained challenging due to political upheavals and inconsistent policies. The early 2000s saw a period of relative stability and higher growth rates under General Pervez Musharraf, driven by liberalization and increased foreign investment. Bangladesh, during the 1990s and 2000s, experienced more consistent economic growth, largely driven by the expansion of the garment sector, remittances from overseas workers, and improvements in agriculture. Structural reforms, investment in human development, and microfinance initiatives, notably by Grameen Bank and BRAC, played crucial roles in poverty reduction and economic stability. The economy grew at an average rate of 5–6% annually during this period. 2010 to 2024, diverging paths Pakistan. In the last decade, Pakistan's economic growth has been constrained by several factors, including political instability, security challenges, and structural issues such as energy shortages and a large informal economy. While there have been periods of growth, such as during the early years of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor (CPEC) investments, structural challenges and fiscal deficits have persisted. The COVID-19 pandemic further strained the economy, though there have been efforts to stabilize through IMF programs and reforms aimed at increasing tax revenues and reducing deficits. Bangladesh, on the other hand, has seen remarkable economic progress. The country has sustained high growth rates, averaging 6–7% annually, and has made significant strides in reducing poverty and improving social indicators. Key drivers of this growth include the booming garment industry, which accounts for a significant portion of exports, robust remittance inflows, and steady improvements in infrastructure and human development. Bangladesh's proactive economic policies and political stability have also contributed to its success. Comparative outcomes economic indicators, GDP growth. Since 1971, Bangladesh has achieved higher and more consistent GDP growth rates compared to Pakistan. The average growth rate for Bangladesh over the past decade has been around 6–7%, whereas Pakistan has struggled to maintain a steady growth rate above 4–5%. Per capita income. Bangladesh's per capita income has surpassed Pakistan's in recent years. As of 2024, Bangladesh's per capita income is significantly higher, reflecting better economic management and more inclusive growth. Poverty reduction. Bangladesh has made more substantial progress in reducing poverty, with its poverty rate dropping significantly from over 70% in the 1970s to below 20% today. Pakistan, while also reducing poverty, has seen slower progress. Sectoral contributions. Industrial growth. The garment industry in Bangladesh has been a major growth driver, making it the second largest garment exporter.